Hello, Mr. Eddie Flores with www.ilovelifephotography.com. Today I'm going to be giving you three awesome tips on booking your quinceañera photography. So, having that said, let's get into it, shall we? Tip number one. The first thing you want to do before planning, calling, anything, you want to make sure that you have your budget done, taken care of. All of the above. Reason why is you got to make sure if you're on a budget, then you're going to want to definitely try and bundle where you can or look at sites like Craigslist where the talent may not be as high, but the talent may not be as high, but the cost may be where you're at and all that stuff. So you need to be realistic with your budget because if you're expecting epic photography, off-camera lighting, awesome posing and all that stuff, it is going to cost more. That's just plain and simple. The craft, the equipment brought to the actual day, the editing process. It's a lot of work. A lot of people don't realize we don't just take pictures and leave. Our work starts even after we're done with the day of the photography event, which is pretty awesome because we get to make those pictures super cool. So having that said, knowing your budget, you can also do two things. If you have a bigger budget, you can then allocate a photography one and a video. A number one golden tip nugget, all of that I could give you is separate companies. If you can have a specialist on photography and a specialist on videography, it's going to show. The work is going to be a lot better because that's what they specialize and have a passion for. When you see the bundle, you'll save more money, but the work isn't always, and I say it isn't always because there are people that do both that are really good at it, but for the most part, the bundle waters down the services. But if you get two different ones, it's going to be fantastic. So depending on your budget, you'll be able to know if you can do all this stuff. So be realistic with what it is. And then once you got your budget, then you can start asking photographers, videographers, whatever it may be, what their starting rates are. So as long as it's in sync with your budget, you're going to be able to do basically what you need to do, or sorry, not do what you need to do. You're basically going to be able to know if you're going to work with that photographer or not. It's just got to be, that's the first step that you got to make sure is taken care of, because if they're up here, you're down here, it's not going to work. And if your budget's here and they're charging too little here, it's not going to be a good match. So you want to make sure you're in the same frequency. So that leads me on to tip number two, and here's the most important one, and I'll go number two because it's very important. Remember this, so next time you go out there, it's love your photographer. I cannot stress how important this is. You really need to have a great relationship with the photographer, especially the quinceañera. She needs to really have a great connection with them because that's the person who's going to be following her around all day, and they're going to be working with them, their friends, the wedding party, the damas, the chamelanos, all that. So you need to make sure that they are good with them, and especially your family, because you're also going to be taking photos with them, doing the family formals and all that stuff. So it really has to be a great mix, but love your photographer really applies to the quinceañera. Like, you have to make sure that for sure, hands down, she wants to work with this person, and your pictures can't come out bad. I've seen it the other way where they didn't have a great relationship and the pictures came out pretty bad. Like, the poses were like meh, and then the face, the smiles, they weren't really in it. So that's the most important one. Remember this. Tip number two is the most important. And number three, I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this one, but I am gonna say it's, does your photographer know Photoshop? I hate saying this, but as we progress with technology, things get better. So does Photoshop. They need to know how to use it. That's how you can make awesome album designs, canvases. When you blow something up, you can retouch, remove blemishes, brighten eyes, whiten teeth, and do a lot of stuff like remove a little bit distracting backgrounds. It can't do everything, but it could do a lot. So if you get a traditional photographer that says, oh, Photoshop's bad, it's the devil, probably not. It's really something super good, and if used properly, it can enhance your images to the next level and then some. So tip number three is ask if and how they feel about Photoshop, just so you can kind of get a gauge. And like I said, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We'll definitely help you out and all that stuff. But other than that, those are three quick tips that you can use to start getting your quinceañera photography under wraps, getting ready to book someone. These are just kind of good ones to know because, hey, It's your first one probably, and if it's your second one, more power to you. Anyhow, this is, I always get this. This is Mr. Eddie Flores with www.ilovelifephotography.com. We'll catch you guys later. You guys have a nice day, weekend, month, year, whatever it may be. You guys have a good one.